and welcome to my channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, you can subscribe right now. Anyways, so in today's video, I want to tell you how my brain works. This is how I imagine my brain works. So imagine my brain as some kind of typical work environment. There is stuff. So we've got memory stuff, which is all the brainy people, the people who think, the people who sort out memory and all sorts of things like that. And then we've got Bobby. Bobby is in control of what I say and what I do, but Bobby cannot think for himself. Bobby needs to get instruction, and Bobby follows instructions. So the memory stuff come up with, what are we going to do today? And Bobby just does it. So I'm going to split the story up into different types of categories. The first category is what happens when I'm working or doing schoolwork. I haven't done schoolwork in a while and my long-term memory is a little poop, so I cannot really remember exactly how my brain worked in school. I forgot to say something to you. We're gonna have to start this whole thing from bloody scratch. Hi there and welcome to my channel. I've got ADHD or some form of TSWMH. TSWMH stands for there's something wrong with my head. The W stands for two W's, so it's kind of a double W. But anyways, I had a project I needed to finish at work. And this project consisted of a lot of thinking, which my brain's not that great at doing, but that is what it has to do. So, Bobby's also in control of taking in information, and Bobby's in control of giving it to the memory stuff. All the memory stuff do is they sit in the boardroom and do the thinking work. What happened was the memory stuff all worked together to come up with this brilliant plan. They decided they're going to give the step-by-steps to Bobby for him to make me actually do the work. And then they fell asleep. So what happened was, while I was in the middle of writing code, suddenly I forgot exactly why I'm writing this code. Luckily, I knew exactly what I was supposed to write, but I forgot why I was supposed to write it. And this happens a lot when I need to name things. In code, you have to name variables. And then I forget what variable to name. And then Bobby's in charge of coming up with the variable names because the memory stuff has fallen asleep. So I normally name my variables cookie and poop and stuff like that. Pretty smart, don't you think? But anyways, like I said, Bobby is not very sharp on the thinking stuff. So anyway, so Bobby sometimes is put in a scenario where Bobby needs to come up with a name. So what happens is, while they're sleeping, I write the code down, I type it all out, and then I click execute, hoping. Bobby and I are just sitting there hoping that the code works, because if it doesn't work, we have to wake this memory stuff up, because Bobby would not know how to sort it out. And in this scenario, for example, it didn't work. There were a couple of bugs and we didn't know why they were bugs. So Bobby and I had to work together. Well, technically only Bobby had to work. I'm just a puppet. So Bobby had to work really hard at trying to come up with what we're going to do to fix this bug while simultaneously trying to wake up the rest of the staff. And then I start freaking out because Bobby is a freaker-outer. It's because Bobby is an emotional thing in my head, and he starts freaking out because the memory stuff doesn't want to wake up, and now Bobby has to come up with why the system's not working. And normally at this time I decide I'm going to give Bobby a break and I get out of there and go drink water or go bother my dad. The memory stuff start waking up slowly by themselves because they wouldn't wake up unless, I don't know. In so many cases, I would go to sleep that night with the memory stuff still sleeping, and in the middle of the night, bam, they wake up and tell me exactly how to solve the problem. That is how my brain works. Bobby keeps getting in trouble because Bobby is left alone. My memory stuff really loves to sleep a lot. So then there's another scenario where I read. This is, I believe, a very ADHD thing or autism thing or any form of TSWMH thing. People think it's because I'm naughty, but trust me, it's a lot of effort. After hearing that scenario, tell me if you know exactly how to wake the memory system up. You are welcome to tell me, because I don't know how to wake them up. They just sleep whenever they want to, especially when I'm reading something that is not very interesting to me, and that is normally everything in school. So if I have to read something that's not interesting to me, it doesn't go in. Bobby takes the information, which Bobby's supposed to do. Bobby's very good at his job. Bobby takes in the information, stores it in a box that the memory staff told him to put it in, but what the memory staff did not tell Bobby is that that was the trash can, and that they were going to burn all of that information right after he put all of it in there. So that is when I would read something that's so uninteresting. I will read the exact same sentence 100 million times. I'm not even kidding. Okay, well, I'm kidding because that sounds like a lot of reading to do, and I don't think it's even possible for me to read something 100 million times. But anyways, I'd read it like 10 times and I would still not know what's going on in that scenario. So it's very difficult for me to read books. So that is also why I'm not good at studying or writing tests or anything, especially when it comes to tests. Oh my goodness, if you didn't If I didn't know my memory staff sleeps ever, they do when I'm writing a test. When I'm writing a test, they're gone. They leave Bobby in charge. They're just gone. You can't wake them up. They're in a coma. They're just gone. Is when I'm writing a test. I forgot what I wanted to say. Then there's the final scenario. You know what? Sometimes they only give Bobby half of, like I'm trying to, like what's happening right now. They only give Bobby half the instructions and then they go to sleep or they just disappear. So in the middle of what I'm trying to say to someone, I forget what I'm trying to say. Anyways, so the final scenario that I can think of right now is a social scenario. So now you've noticed that the memory staff treats Bobby a little bit like less than what they are, right? So they don't just treat him badly, they're also bullies, okay? So let me explain to you why I say they are bullies. Many times I would be in a conversation, well, anywhere, okay? My husband likes to bring this up a lot. I would be in a scenario where I'd have to say something to someone. The staff would sit together and say, this sentence is the one you need to say, Bobby. You have to say this sentence. It can't go wrong. Say this line or sentence or word or whatever. Say it. And Bobby would be like, okay, if you say so, if you say it won't be a bad idea, then let's say it. And the moment I say it, you just hear the memory staff going... The memory staff doesn't treat Bobby very well, and they're quite lazy, even though they do most of the thinking, and I'm pretty genius if they were just bloody awake. We just said something incredibly inappropriate, and the only time we were aware that it's inappropriate was after we said the word. So I'm hoping friends and family are watching this video and are realizing, wow, there is something wrong with her head. This is the gist of it. My brain is cuckoos. My brain, TSWMH. I've got TSWMH. Anyways, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe and share. And I know you're not going to do any of those things. You can like at least. Just like the video. Just click the thumbs up thing, at least. And then I'd also like you to watch my sister-in-law's videos. Her channel is in the description box down below. I'm not sure if she's brought out a new video by the time this video comes out. But, like, while I'm recording this right now, she has already made a video. But I'll just link her channel. Okay, thank you for watching. Bye.